parkway, and it looks like he's ringing at a pole, but it looks like they are getting out.
That's another pilot describing the crash scene to air traffic control. 2 people were on board. You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Bufa. It happened on the Southern State Parkway this morning. Macy Eglin has more in Farmingdale.
667 got an engine failure, putting it down the highway. 667, roger.
Scary moments on the Southern State Parkway as a small plane had to make an emergency landing in Farmingdale. It came down just before noon on the shoulder of the Southern State, eastbound by Route 109, as it was on its way back to Republic Airport.
If you need to go on the highway, that's fine. If you can make it to the runway, that's approved as well.
Another pilot's conversation with air traffic control detailed the immediate aftermath.
It looks like he's ringing at a pole, but it looks like they are getting out.
State police say 2 people were on board at the time.
Both people suffered what we believe to be minor non-life-threatening injuries, and they've been transported to local hospitals.
The single-engine Piper Cherokee took off from Republic Airport around 10 o'clock this morning, and its flight path shows a lot of maneuvering, which experts say is indicative of flight training. That plane is owned by Aptum Aviation in Hicksville. The cause of the crash is still under investigation.
We will interview them and work with our partners in the NTSB and FAA to determine the cause of this collision.
The names of the people on board have not yet been released. Reporting for Newsday TV, I'm Macy Eglin.
The Sachem School District is suing over a proposed battery storage plant. The lawsuit is against the state and the battery storage developer. The district is expressing safety concerns about the project and how close it is to schools. The Holtzville facility would be the first one built on Long Island since an East Hampton battery plant burned for nearly 30 hours last year. And a new CDC reports find mental health challenges are driving teens to use drugs. Sherry Einhorn breaks down the data and how parents can stay alert.
An alarming new study shows teens are turning to pills, pot, and alcohol, not for fun, but as a coping mechanism for mental health issues.
I think it's alarming, and I think that they need to definitely address it more than they're addressing it now.
According to the CDC's report, 73% of teens said they use substances to feel mellow, calm, or relaxed, 44% to stop worrying about a problem or forget bad memories, 40% to help with anxiety or depression, and 50% to have fun or experiment.
It's hard. It's hard for them to deal with stuff like that nowadays. And, it's sad, but as parents, we just have to stay alert and stay on top of your kids.
Experts say schools have shifted focus more toward the social and emotional well-being of students since the pandemic. And while they say more can always be done, that takes money and resources.
You almost have a perfect storm. You have more anxiety, depression, and insomnia than ever before. You have lousy access to mental health services for those kids. And then you have increased availability of the very substances that we're all worried about. And all of those things have come together to put us in the situation we're in now, which is, quite frankly, an unparalleled public health crisis.
Data for the study came from the self-assessments of nearly 16,000 teenagers between 13 and 18 who answered online questions about drug and alcohol use. 81% said they used drugs or alcohol with friends. 50% said they used alone. Some parents told us their first line of defense is to always talk with their kids, starting at a young age.
Kind of like uncover things that way by just asking questions.
I'm Sherry Einhorn for Newsday TV.
The former Central Islip Psychiatric Center is being redeveloped into luxury apartments. The $300 million complex will have more than 700 units. The developers say they are offering a 10% monthly discount on rent for first responders. 175 units have been rented so far. And a shuttered steakhouse is being sued for nearly $500,000. The owner of Frank's Steaks in Jericho is facing a lawsuit from the building's landlord claiming $450,000 in unpaid rent. The restaurant closed last month after being in business for 35 years. A country pop duo Dan and Shay are coming to Jones Beach this summer. I'm speechless, staring at you standing there in that dress. The Heartbreak on the Map tour will make a stop in Wantagh on August 10th. Tickets go on sale this Friday. All right, let's take a look at your Long Island weather, shall we? And you can see we have some daylight late in the day, which is nice. And tonight you'll see we're in the 20s. Tomorrow we're likely near 40s. Taking a closer look at tomorrow, you can see we have mostly cloudy skies with temps in the mid to upper 30s.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Home Tax Saver, PTRC Incorporated.
A Long Island wrestler beat the odds after battling cancer. Jamie Stewart has a story you'll see only in Newsday.
Sean Wachter is a walking and wrestling miracle.
I always say that wrestling is my rock in the storm.
And to understand Sean's story, we need to go back to the eye of the storm. A former sports star at Kellenberg High School, Sean used to have dreams of becoming a pro wrestler, but a broken neck in 2012 dashed those dreams temporarily.
I had to relearn how to walk again, unfortunately.
Little did Sean know things would get much, much worse.
In 2016, Sean's life changed forever. He suffered a stroke due to an undiagnosed brain tumor and collapsed in his family home. While struggling on the ground, Sean managed to pick up his cell phone and call his dad.
I couldn't even communicate with him because I could not understand him.
I know for a fact I sounded quite garbled and gurgled on the phone and essentially, crying out for help.
I come through his door and here he is, down here on the floor, trying to pull himself up on a table.
John rushed his son to the hospital where Sean was later diagnosed with a rare form of stage 4 melanoma cancer, which had spread to his spinal cord fluid. Sean was given a life expectancy of 12 weeks. His dad let him know.
I can't imagine what it must have been like for you to have to tell your son the news.
The most difficult thing I ever done in my life.
But like many other sons, Sean had a hard time listening to what his dad had to say.
If you tell me I can't do something, well, sit back and watch me do it.
Sean began radiation treatment but still suffered from seizures. But then, after genomic testing, it was determined Sean's melanoma had a mutation, and he was put into an experimental clinical trial.
We kind of had little landmark moments, and we reached stability in the fall of 2018. Going into 2019, we started to show signs of regression, and then by July of 2022, we received the all clear.
Roughly 6 years after his diagnosis, Sean had a new lease on life.
How many people in this room have been affected or had cancer? Please raise your hands.
And he's using it to be a tag team partner for other cancer fighters.
I don't really have much to celebrate because I still have brothers and sisters stuck in this fight.
With his growing Instagram following, Sean is becoming an inspiration to other fighters around the world, and he's hoping his story, unlike his cancer, spreads.
After everything I've been through, and I wouldn't change it for a bit because cancer was the most beautiful thing that ever happened to me in the sense that it gave me such a unique perspective on life, but now it allows me to chase my dream, but at the same time, as I said, hopefully give hope to others.
For Newsday TV, I'm Jamie Stewart.
Inspirational guy. Now, to read more exclusive sports stories just like this one, go to Newsday.com, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
There's nothing like when you finish a story, you have this product that goes out to the world and hopefully brings some truth to, society.
Newsday, covering Long Island like no one else can.
You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Ken Buffa. Thank you so much for joining us. We leave you now with a look at your 7-day forecast.